Hey, happy post-Memorial Day weekend to all you baseball nuts out there. I was thinking this weekend, I was down the shore and coming back from the beach and kind of throwing on a movie and it being baseball season, like NBA Finals, Stanley Cup wrapping up, and a lot of people that, like all sports, now turn their attention to baseball. So I was thinking about baseball movies this weekend and how much of sports movies baseball just dominates sports movies. Like, there's not a ton of great football movies. There's not a ton of great basketball movies. Although Blue Chips, shout out Neon Bedeau, great flick. Hockey movies, you have some, but not a lot. And baseball, you have so many baseball movies. I wanted to give my top 5. Everybody's top 5 is different. I'm not saying these are the greatest of all time. These are my personal favorites. So let me get some honorable mentions out of the way that did not make the top 5, but I believe are worthy of mention. Matthew LeBlanc's classic Ed. How do you not love Ed as a baseball movie? Angels in the Outfield. I'm just kidding about Ed. That movie was probably terrible. I never watched it. Angels in the Outfield I did give some run to as a kid. But here's the real honorable mentions. The Natural, not in my top 5. I feel like it's in everybody's top 5. Never really did it for me. I understand the music, the scene, the broken light. It's great. Everybody loves it. Not me. Wasn't really for me. It's okay. It's a movie I would watch once and never kind of rewatch. Moneyball, I think, was pretty close to cracking my top 5. So Moneyball is honorable mention, not in it. I thought it was a pretty good, realistic look into the way a really crappy organization ran their system. Rookie of the Year was a Henry Rowan Gardner as a kid. Funky butt loving. Who didn't love that scene in the doctor's office? Chet, the Rocket, Chet. What the hell was his name? Chet Steadman, I believe. I'm going off the cuff here with the character name. That's pretty good Rookie of the Year knowledge. A League of Their Own, I think, is a great movie. I thought Tom Hanks killed it. Plus, I had a thing for Gina Davis as a Ute. So they're an honorable mention. Bad News Bears, I feel like you kind of have to mention in the honorable mention category. And then 8 Men Out. So those are the movies that didn't make the top 5, and there's some classics in there. So let's start it out with my top 5. Number 5. This is probably going to be on no one's best baseball movie list ever, especially a top 5 list. But Basketball by Matt Stone and Trey Parker, to me, was just absolutely hilarious. When you have Bob Costas coming onto your set and saying things like, "You think you're excited? Feel these nipples." That movie deserves some love. Don't sleep on Basketball. Absolutely hilarious movie. Number 4, one of the best performances by an actor in any baseball movie, 42, the Jackie Robinson story with Chadwick Boseman. Phenomenal job. The movie was great all around. You can watch Ken Burns baseball as much as you want and still not kind of get the inside look into that story as you did in that movie. Number 3 on the list, Bull Durham. One of the classics, great story about the minor league system and kind of how much they have to go through and persevere to have a shot at making the major league level. Phenomenal movie. Susan Sarandon, what up? Number 2, a movie I considered for number 1. That's how much I watched this as a kid. I'm going with The Sandlot at number 2. That is a slice of Americana right there, to quote Anthony Gargano. I mean, kids getting together, guys being dudes on the ball field all day, going to carnivals and having the summer of their lives. Sandlot, how do you not love The Sandlot? And then number 1 for me, without a doubt, it edged out The Sandlot, Major League. I mean, just a phenomenal story. Great characters, about a team that didn't have the owner's support. It was just a great collection of baseball characters. I always felt like Jake Taylor was based on Darren Dalton. Maybe it was just the knees thing. But the Wild Thing, Pedro Serrano, Dorn, Willie Mays Hayes, just so many great baseball characters and a pretty realistic look into baseball, I feel like, as an outsider. So those are my top 5. It's a long summer ahead. Baseball movies are great. I'd love to know your top 5. If you want to throw them in the comments here on the YouTube link, would love to start a little interaction here on the top 5 baseball movies of all time. Those are mine. Who you got? See you later on the PHLY Phillies podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.